So let's see. So honestly, it's one of my friends actually. He is a Masters player. He's a Masters support player. I met him through his girlfriend because I just
Yeah,
randomly was playing Overwatch with my friends and I was like, "Oh, you guys are so nice. Let's play." Blah blah blah. I was a tank player
sure.
and he was just playing one day and he was like, if you like actually tried, you could actually like get diamond. And I was like, you know what? I feel inspired to try and do that. So I spent a whole season 18. I
Yep.
played like 230 plus tank games. I hit Diamond 5.
Nice.
I totally crashed all the way down to Plat 4, but now I'm Plat
Sure.
3, Plat
Sure.
2 again.
Okay.
And
Okay.
oh my
Fair
god, I
enough.
think my cat is in my room. I'm so sorry. One second.
It's no problem.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I can relate to that. My cat is rubbing up against me as we speak.
Hide in the closet. All right, I'm so sorry. My cat
Yeah,
invaded my
no
room.
worries. No worries.
But yeah, he was just like, if you get good, and then he watched a couple of my games. He gave me some good insight, and then I was just kind of like I don't want to. I want like an actual like coach. Like I want someone who does coaching.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Sounds good. Been playing for a while here. Main take is Junkerqueen, who I mostly one trick, but with occasional Sigma depending on the maps or bands. Sometimes even
Yeah.
Wrecking Ball Winston. Maybe this has changed since you filled out the form. Where do you feel like you're at right now? You feel about the same?
You know what's surprising this season? Actually, I've been playing a little bit more Hazard, so I've been really
Mm-hmm.
enjoying Hazard a lot more. I'd say
Okay.
he's at this point probably my third most played tank at the moment.
Sure.
But trying to like pick like 3 4 tanks to like actually know how to play.
Sure.
Um, Ball is kind of just like for fun. Winston
Sure.
seems like the more logical character, like dive tank to get good at.
Sure.
But
Okay.
that's kind of
Sounds
where
good.
I'm at right now.
Sounds good. Talk to me about Junker Queen. How long have you been playing Queen? Is she your main? How much Queen do you play compared to your other tanks?
Let's see. Oh, I play a lot of Queen. I got really into Queen. Let's see. Hang on, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find like the first
Take your
season where I
time.
went like hard tank. Season 9 is when they did all those tank changes, and we were in a group of 5, and I was the only one that was like willing to play tank. So that was probably the first like hardcore season where I was like super into tanking.
Yeah.
Let's see. My time played compared to all the other tanks. I mean, Junker Queen, I got 174 hours on her. Next one's Sigma at 85.
Yep.
And then honestly, Sigma is only a recent addition. I'd say like last
Sure.
4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah, sure.
But I mean, I climbed from silver to like low plat only playing Queen.
Right. Okay. Cool. Good stuff. I mean, I think in terms of like what you want for rank wise, like I'm looking at your goals, which are generally stuff beyond just rank, right? Like you talk about developing a roster of tanks, the right time to make a
Yeah,
play, positioning, and so on. I would
yeah,
encourage you to just continue to kind of evaluate your goals based off of your hero pool. I think like I've worked with a couple people who like really like the idea of having like a tank pool. And I
yeah,
think what I would encourage you to do that to kind of develop that is to do kind of what you did with Queen, which is to kind of specialize for a brief period of time, and then
yeah,
as you start to get more comfortable, then you can kind of move along and then kind of evaluate. And so what I would encourage you to do is like if you're looking to add Hazard, sounds like you've been playing a lot of Hazard recently, right?
yeah. So you know, depending on the group size, sometimes we go from 5 to
Sure.
6. So in the 5v5 world, I play Queen, I play Queen, I play Sig, I play Winston. And then when
Sure.
we're in the 6v6 world, I just go Hazard. I'm like, okay, I'll just learn Hazard, and then I'll port him over whenever I start feeling more comfortable.
Sure.
So like
Sure.
this season in particular, I was like, oh, last season I have 17 hours on Hazard from 6v6. Let's play a couple 5v5 tank games, get the feeling of him. So I've been like, slowly moving him over into the 5v5 world, and it's been nice.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, I encourage you to keep doing that. I would encourage you to be even more focused on the short term. I
Yeah,
think it's can be very difficult to develop to like a real competency level if you're not basically one tricking or two tricking essentially.
that makes sense in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean even pro players, right? Like the reason why pro players generally will have slightly larger hero pools is because they have one trick the character for months on end at some point in the
Yeah.
last couple of years, basically.
That's that sounds like my experience with Queen.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
definitely 2024 was like I
Yeah.
only play Junkerqueen.
Yeah, I mean, there's been metas where people will play the same tank or DPS for like a year, 2 years on end if you're a professional player, right? So it's like,
Yeah. That
you
checks
really get
out.
to know the nuances of the character, and so you could take a year off of that character and come right back and be like, man, it'll take like a week, and you're right back in the swing of things. So
Yeah.
I think just the way learning works, it's just like when you develop those learning grooves in your brain, it's really hard to kind of to remove those, but you do have to dig them out first, and I think that's where like I have this weird irony of like where like a lot of platinum players play a lot more characters than higher ranked players, but they master so much fewer, you know?
Yeah. That
Um,
checks out.
so for you, it's like I know that hero pull is like a tank cast is a goal of yours, like the
Hmm.
ability to kind of like play different tanks. So
Yeah.
like I think the question needs to kind of be like, what's the best way of doing that, right? And it might
Yeah.
be one at a time. Like one, spend like a 3 or 4 week block, really give it your all, move on to another tank, really give it your all. I mean,
Sure.
that won't be enough to learn every nuance of the character, but you'll make some progress,
No,
right?
no, of
So,
course.
but it's up to you. I mean, that's really your preference, and that's why I always ask goals first.
Hmm.
So, talk to me
Absolutely.
about your training schedule here. So you're getting decent hours on most days, but obviously there's a lot of different time. Like you're doing quick play, you're playing socially, you're playing stadium. So when you're
Yeah.
playing ranked, like to improve, where do you feel like you get most of the time, and where do you feel like you should be? Do you feel like you're happy with where you're at in that regard? Could it be better? Just give me the full 9 yards.
Let's see. I mean, like most of the time, I feel like I'm doing like when I go solo queuing, that's when I feel like I'm doing the best. I don't. Uh, I can understand like wanting to like queue with friends, like treating comp as hard as it can, but sometimes I just feel like that experience can either make me too confident or like really demoralize me sometimes. Because at least for a tank player, it just feels like if I start getting crushed, everyone's gonna get upset, and it's like, hey guys, my roster is. I feel confident on three people. Like you guys have way more characters, and there's two of you,
Sure,
and I just it's just gonna be me, and I'm just gonna get shot at all the time.
sure,
So when I go
sure,
solo queuing, I feel like the best days are usually like Tuesday, Thursday. No one's really wanting to play. I play by myself. I'll clock after work. I'll probably play from like 6 to 9 or 10
sure,
p.m. and then those feel like the best days. And then I think like early Saturday morning is pretty. That's like solo tank time. And then like Sunday midday. Those are the
sure,
times where I'm like actually trying to focus on doing a 5v5 kind of at least training
sure,
until I either get too defeated and I give up or
sure,
you know depending on
sure.
how the mood goes. But that's usually
Okay.
when I do the 5v5 like hard trying. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. I mean, I think I would. What I would do is again, you have a very social way of the game, and I think that's important. It's what makes Overwatch fun. But I would encourage you to kind of take some time after the session today or at some point this week, and just to seriously just put some thought to your routine.
Hmm.
And again, for your goals and how you're training, are they aligned, and which way would you improve them? So, I think the best news that I can tell you is that the minimum effective dosage for improvement in Overwatch in a lot of things is actually pretty small. It's more about the
Yeah.
intensity that you bring, right? So like I've known people that have ranked up to even masters off of just 3 games a day, just 3 ranked games a day. Now that can be very difficult to do, and I don't think everybody can do that, but that means that it
Then
is possible, right? So
sure.
the question would be like, okay, if I'm one tricking or two tricking, and I'm playing 3 or 4 games per day, with a 5 minute warm up, is that feasible 4 or 5 days per week? You know,
Sure. Yeah.
and then can I would probably encourage you to get that done more earlier in the session, as you were saying. So just it's kind of like really your call how you want to implement that. But again, like you're here to know what you need to do to improve, and the systemic structural stuff really goes
Yeah.
a long way. Like goes a
Absolutely.
long way, especially
Hmm.
long term. If that makes sense.
I could definitely do like if I wanted to do it like 5 days a week. I could definitely do like 3 games like some couple days and then have like 2 or 3 like really hard like longer periods. That's definitely possible. And I
Sure.
probably will try and do that actually.
Okay.
Now that you
Okay.
mentioned it.
Sure. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I think depending on how much sleep that you've gotten and how focused you are, like your focused hours will kind of taper off. I think for the average well slept, focused player, I'd say anywhere from like 4 or 5 hours is like ceiling. But also,
Yeah.
if you're like you're not sleeping well, or you have a job, or you're busy studying, or you're like your life is particularly stressful, that number can cut down like pretty sharply. Like,
Yeah.
I work with like new parents right after a job, and it's like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and they've got like an hour. It's like you might have like 30 minutes, 45 minutes of like legitimate effort before it just goes. So
That's
just kind of
fair.
keeping that in mind,
Yeah.
and I think being self-aware of that is like a really good life skill. I think even apart from Overwatch, because
Hmm.
there's like a lot. Any other talent that's going to demand your effort and your skill is gonna you're gonna have only so much time. And I know for you, like sleep is always like kind of a difficult thing as well. So that just means
Yeah.
that you're like your fuel tank for maximum energy is just going to be a little bit smaller, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Totally.
Okay. Let's see here. Mechanics talked about working on your Gracie. Start losing
Yeah.
consecutively. I get flustered and frustrated. It affects my mindset and how I played. Get counter swap. I start to freeze and become too passive. Okay, understand the game. Yeah, do want to improve my knowledge. Yeah, I mean, I think like from your description, I don't think anything here is particularly concerning. Like losing consecutively does fluster and frustrate people as a general rule, myself
Hmm.
included. Getting counter swapped and not knowing what to do, and then kind of leaning in towards inaction, that's normal. I think that's pretty normal as that as well. Looking for opportunities, that's also pretty normal as well. Talked about this being your first shooter and trying to develop your skills deliberately. That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
and focusing on using Gracie effectively. So how did that go? Talk me through that.
So, I'm sorry. Can you like
Mm.
elaborate a little? Like, what
Yeah,
part do you
yeah,
want
sure,
me to
sure.
focus on?
So you talked to me about like, or in the forum you mentioned something about training your Gracie, putting
Oh, okay.
attention. How did that go?
Um, I mean, here's the deal. Like, I definitely feel like I still have days where it's like I can hit every single knife that I throw out into the universe, and then there's some days where it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a 50-50 miss, like blah blah blah. And I'm kind of grateful that they put the perk in for like the wider Gracie pullback because at
yep,
least that makes me feel like I get some value out of
yep,
missing,
yep,
or
yep.
like a tactical throw and you miss, and it's like, well, I still got three of you with it, so sure.
Right.
But I definitely that's still something that I feel like I need to work on. But there was definitely like I have dedicated days where I'll just go into quick play and it's like, okay, I don't even care if I shoot them with my shotgun. Like just throw the knife at people and pull them in and see what happens.
Right,
And I
right,
definitely feel like I've improved. But I mean, even at like even the game that we're gonna watch today, like there's gonna be plenty of nights where it's like, what are you doing? You're just throwing it at the air.
right, right. Do you feel like you've been able to progress from your first person shooter? I mean, hitting Diamond 5 is it's a big deal, right? So I assume that you felt like you've progressed somewhat
Oh,
anyway.
absolutely. I mean, when I hit Diamond 5, I literally was like, I don't even want to play the game for like 3 days. I was like, I
Yeah,
peaked.
yeah.
I hit
Frame
the
that.
glory land. I was like, oh my God, I hit Diamond. And then it's like, yeah, right back to where you belong, right back to the plat lands. And I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
But I definitely feel like I've progressed way more. I used to be bronze. So it's like, I'm definitely like, oh yeah, for as harsh as I am on myself and my mechanics at the game, there were dark days when it's like I can only play Reinhardt, I can only play Orisa, and I don't throw
Yeah,
the javelin well on Orisa. So it's like you're just
yeah,
sitting there as like I am a wall.
yeah.
What's up, everybody?
Well,
Either
progression takes
I,
so much time, you know?
yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Well, congrats, regardless, and we can talk about continuing to develop that. Any strategy questions, practice questions, hero pool questions, anything that we've gone over here? It's been not as much straight direction for me. Hopefully, just a little bit of advice here and there, and you interpret that as you will. But has anything
Hmm.
come up that maybe you would like to delve into a little bit deeper?
I definitely. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't even know. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's
Strategy wise, I guess maybe when we like watch the VOD or something like that, we can have like a broader conversation about like what would be the strategy here as like on Junkerqueen, like what could be the strat? Because I do feel like there's times where it's like maybe I'm not mechanically better than the enemy tank, but if I can outthink them and at least disrupt their backline enough, at least then I can at least pull a victory out of like of
yep.
the ether.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Okay, sounds good. We'll keep an eye on that
Because
then.
there's some Doomfist players where it's like, yeah, I ain't gonna beat you, bud. So it's gonna be me versus your backline, or me versus your backline, you versus mine, and let's just
Yeah,
see how the
yeah.
game goes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the good news is that you can do that. The bad news is that I do think with Queen, a lot of it does come down to mechanics.
Yeah.
Once you get the basic, because a lot of it is Gracie creates opportunities, right? Like
Yeah.
Gracie doesn't
Hmm.
secure kills right off the bat, but it creates opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Hmm.
So you just need to hit the Gracies, and that comes with deliberate practice, and that just comes with time. And then in the meantime, while you're working on that for half of your games, the other half we can work on the strategy side of it. So, okay, if there's nothing else, we can jump into replay review if you'd like, or whatever else you'd like to do.
Um, let's see. I'm sorry. What were the other topics? It was strategy.
Just
What was the other thing?
strategy, warm up,
What would you
schedule.
recommend for warming up, actually?
Um, so
It's
Queen is
like,
an interesting one. So most tanks, I'm like, whatever you want to do for 5 minutes, and then just go in.
sure.
But I think with Queen, like you Vax is fine, 5 minutes, maybe not even
Mhm.
five. Like what you could do is just go into Vax for like 2 minutes. Practice
Sure.
your shotgun standing still. Practice your shotgun strafing. Practice your
Yeah.
Gracie standing still. Practice your Gracie strafing for like 30 seconds, sorry, each, 45 seconds each, and then just call it right there. That's fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
yeah.
Because
Just
I'm not the best warmer upper. Sometimes I just throw myself into it. So
well, it's boring, right? So
it
like
is boring.
I
That's why
really
it's
think
like,
that that's why you just cut the dose down to where it's like even if it's the most
yeah,
miserable thing in the world, just type in Vaxta and then just do it for 2 minutes and then you're fine, you know?
fair enough. Okay.
Because you're not going to get a while you wait deathmatch when you Q tank most of the time. It's gonna
Yeah, no.
you're right in it. So okay. Now obviously codes were wiped last week,
I'm so
so
sad about it. Yeah.
yeah. So we
I had a
all
great game from Midtown that I was like, here's like the worst game. Like, here's like the worst game that I pulled out of the fire of all time. So this one is it's not bad. It's not great either. It's not as good as the other one. I'll be honest. But I feel like all my bad habits are pretty noticeable, and I feel like the good things that I do are also noticeable. So I was like,
sure.
this is fair.
Sure. So like I
This
mean
is the
even just
best I can do with a week's time.
yeah, I mean, even a decent representation of your average game is fine. Pursuing a bad game for the sake of a bad game. It's not really necessary. Just pick whatever is a decent representation and go from there. Now, you mentioned Doomfist, right? Like, kind of being like a matchup where you're just kind of trading backlines. Are there any other particular characters or maps or matchups that you find unusually difficult?
Uh, for Queen, I'll be honest.
There's a
Orisa
lot of
doesn't
them.
scare me anymore. I don't. When you're in silver and gold land, it's like every game is just someone pulls out Diva and then you kill them once. You're like, ah, yes, I will go the horse
Yeah.
because you're on Queen. I will just go the horse. So, I've got like plenty of time to just shoot the gold walking
Yeah.
bug thing.
Behemoth. Yeah.
Um, Reinhardt is surprisingly strange in Plat. I feel like they are either the worst player or they dominate the lobby. And I feel like such a victim to it sometimes as Queen because it's like he puts a shield up and instantly it's like cool. I'm just
Yep.
it turns into okay, well I'm just gonna play go fishing as Queen. I'm just gonna throw
Pretty much.
Gracie at people
Yep.
until someone comes to me. Or get walked down by Reinhardt, and then it's like, well, that's cool. So
Yep.
Ryan is annoying. Zarya, if she's really good at bubbles, I just swap instantly. I don't feel like I can go up against a good Zarya player. And
It's a very
then
difficult matchup for sure. And
it's so
she's very
painful.
strong right now. Yeah.
She is, and it's killing me. But like Hog, but only if the Hog can hit every single hook on my backline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like everything else. I'm not threatened by Malga. I mean, some of the dive tanks can be annoying, but if you land a knife, you can pull it out of the fire a little bit. It's fine, a
Yep.
little fine.
Yep. Yep.
And then
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I just look at Ramacho like a corpse.
yeah, you just kind of dump stuff into it and
Just
try
keep
to get
shooting
it.
him. He just blocks
Just keep,
it. Like
yeah, just keep going. Okay. So far so good. Goal with Queen is to kind of close the gap in most situations. Fishing for Gracies to force the cooldowns that allow you to execute. Basically, you look at Junkerqueen with Carnage is, unless you're facing like a frontline tank, Carnage is really your execute ability. And by
yeah,
that I mean that it's not something you're going to be using very often. It's going to be very opportunistic. If you can use it early, great. If not, it's not going to happen. Like, for example, right now you knife the Cassidy and you go for your Carnage, you're not going to hit it because he's going to roll. He's going to hinder. He's going to do something, right? So it's more along the lines of I'm going to hit the knife to force the roll, force the hinder, so then my next knife I can actually kill him. You kind of get what I'm saying? So
okay,
the key thing with Queen is to hit your shots, play your cover, hit your Gracies over and over and over and over again. Now, Shout, I look at being somewhere between Carnage and Gracie in terms of timing. Gracie you use to create opportunities. Carnage you use to close them, right? Most of the time. Shout, because it's got the health, you're like, oh, it's defensive. Well, kind of. The speed is also very useful to create opportunities as well. So, for example, let's say you hit the Gracie there. If you shout this is going to allow you to keep pushing forward onto this casting move, even to this corner here, which will allow you to do more damage and to do more threat, which indirectly down the road, 10, 15 seconds from now, might allow you to hit a Carnage, might allow you to get the execute. You get what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
Now, the basic rule of shout is as long as you are actively engaging in the enemy team and not just sitting on a corner or rotating, right? You can use your shout. Like right now, if you were to shout so you could aggressively push forward and tuck in towards here, that would be fine. That would be okay. But if you're like, well, I just kind of want to sit on the staircase and just kind of chill, that's okay as well. It's like right now, this shout doesn't make a whole lot of sense because we're not really committing to anything with it. Now, if you looked at the situation here and said, oh my gosh, we're down 1, we're down 2, I need to shout and disengage, and this would be fine. Because this implies action. Now, by action, I don't necessarily mean movement. It could be literally standing still, fighting somebody. That's fine, too. But it needs to be, I'm doing something. Okay. It's a good try with the Gracie. Basically, the result of this fight is, like, your Reaper just died. You missed a couple of Gracies. That's basically all there is to it.
Yeah.
Good shots. Again, shout was fine, right? If you hit that Gracie, that shout holds value. If you don't hit the Gracie, the shout still holds value because it got you out at full HP. You see this? So it's fine. The problem, you missed your Gracie.
Yeah.
Why did you miss your Gracie? Well, let's look carefully. I want you to see if you can spot the mistake here.
I will say I do have a notorious issue where I flick a lot.
Sure.
So if it's improper tracking, that's definitely on my end.
But there's a reason why the improper tracking happens even. Like, if you look at this here, is there even any tracking happening with your crosshair right now?
No, not particularly.
It's like you notice that he started to move backwards after he'd already started. So you aim where he is, not where he's going, and then go, oh my gosh, he's going to the left, and overcorrect. But it's too late, right? And even if you had done it here, it still would have been an overcorrection, right?
Sure.
So that's the problem with Gracie. Is I think a lot of people mistake this with Queen a lot, which is why a lot of people miss knives, is that it is not it's not a hit scan. It's not flicking your crosshair to the target most of the time. What it is it's strictly, almost strictly, predictive. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the reason why this is important is because when you're practicing your Gracies, what you're not doing is practicing your aim necessarily. In the same way, like right now, you're like, okay, slow it down, line up my crosshair, bam, slow it down, in my crosshair. You see, that was good. But with Gracies, it's not about that. It's about looking at what I'm looking at and going, gee, where do I think he's going to go?
Yeah.
I'm shouting. Where do you think he's going to go? I mean, obviously, right? It's only one direction. He's going to back up, right? So that means that a lot of the times, your Gracies are going to be based off of not what you're doing, but off of what they are doing. And right now, you have not given yourself enough time to decide what this Cassie is doing. Because where was your attention right before?
Doomfist.
Doomfist. Full Doomfist.
Right
all Doomfist. All Doomfist, right? And so at 0.25, you can really see it. All Doomfist, all Doomfist. And then now, you throw the knife literally like the quarter of a second that the Doomfist leaves. You've not had time to read what this Cassie is doing.
True. Yeah.
Because what if this Cassie rolls into you here?
Oh, pull him in, and I'm going to axe him.
Well, right, but you would have missed the knife still.
Oh, totally.
Is my point, because he would have been done. Now you wouldn't have expected him to do that.
Yes,
no. But that's still my point, right? You would have axed him for sure. But the point being is that, like, right now you don't really know what this Cassidy's doing because you haven't put your eyes on him yet.
Exactly. Okay.
So I'm asking you with your knives right now, and by the way, we're going to go back to your very first knife here, and we're going to look at that exact same. I want you to focus on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Do you notice that, again, you throw your knife and then flick your crosshair towards the direction that you think he's going to go after you've thrown the knife?
Yeah.
You notice that? So it's like you needed to allow yourself to slow down this process to actually read the movement patterns first. And that's actually a really important rule for projectile aim in general, just because it's just too slow. Right? Gracies are it's just a really slow projectile. You're going to miss Gracies no matter what you do, right? Same thing here, right? Look at it. Where is he going to move? I don't know, but he moved the second you looked at him.
Yeah.
So if you'd waited a tenth of a second, you would have seen, oh, roll back and throw it at the corner. See what you do.
Sure. Yeah.
So the problem here isn't the fact that your mechanics in terms of your reaction speed, your precision so far are bad, although they can always get better, right?
Yeah.
What's happening is you're not giving yourself information. And so you're literally shooting in the dark, right?
Yeah.
Because you have no idea where he's going to go. Your crosshair's on him, but that's not where he's going to be, essentially. Okay. In terms of strategy, I think us kind of rotating on corners, fishing for Gracies, looking for shots to avoid, because obviously, like, we've kind of lost this fight, so we don't just want to run the point and die.
Yeah.
Strategically, this has been okay. I don't really have any major criticisms here.
That's fair.
This is like the equivalent of like putting pressure in all the right spaces, but because we're not hitting the Roadhog hooks, or we're not really doing a lot. It's like me and Widow. I scare the enemy team and they realize they don't hit a shot,
Yeah.
Thankfully with Queen, it's not quite that bad. There's still a lot of strategy there, but it's not quite enough. Let's look at the knife here too as well. You notice it?
Yeah. I just throw it and then I immediately start turning.
You've not had time to even look at her movement, which if you look at her movement, you realize that I can never hit this knife. She's too close to the corner.
Of course.
You see it? So then there's no point even going for it. I'm not saying every knife has to be fully sit there and read their movement patterns for a second. Sometimes you'll throw knives at corners, kind of predicting things. But the way I look at Queen knives is you're either really focusing on the movement, taking your time, or just predicting before you even just like kind of throw it blindly down a choke because you think you're going to hit somebody. It's either literally zero brain or full brain, no in between. It's a lot like Roadhog hook actually, very similar. You're either very slow with hook or very fast, no in between. Okay. Now, it's again here. So this one, you've had more of your attention on Doomfist. However, I want you to give it a little bit more effort when you pivot to the Gracies. So just give yourself a tenth of a second. So instead of shooting, go shoot, wait, pause Gracie, then shoot, right? Just give yourself that extra little bit of brain space because remember, your gun aim and your Gracie aim are going to look a little bit different, right? Yeah. Especially at this distance. So your crosshair might be right on Doomfist and it's still a bad Gracie. Sure, it's fine. Good job. This is fine as well because you're close to him. So yeah, just when he leaves, so it's like fine. Probably would have stayed on it there. I don't know if you saw her in time, but it's
I honestly, when I rewatched it, I didn't even notice her there.
Then don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay. This is fine. I mean, I wouldn't leave this corner, but yeah. Now, one of the nice things about off angles with Queen is that it does mean that you actually don't have to think about their movement because they don't even know that you're there. So you're basically, this is that zero brain Gracie. So you should probably hit this one.
No.
That's okay.
No, I just threw it down.
Now, he did move a little bit more erratically than we thought, but the angle's still there. I think what happened is that when you missed the Gracie, things started to get stressful.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Yeah, and then now we're kind of fumbling the back, essentially. We're choking because we were like, oh, crud, I missed the Gracie, right? I'm going to be honest, that was a good angle. Like, when we talk about, like, what flanks or angles you're taking with Queen, you really can't hard flank as much. I mean, you can, but you just have to know you're not going to get as many resources. So this is pretty good. Like, I like this a lot from you. I don't know that I...
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
I was just going to say with this game, like, you're going to definitely see, like, me getting flustered a whole lot because my team was fighting themselves. Like, we were all... My Genji, my Reaper, and my supports there, everyone was just arguing in the chat about what everyone is or isn't doing. So, like, there's definitely times where it's like, oh, why am I doing this? I'm just mad. I just want to roll down main and see what happens.
Right. Well, I mean, have you considered removing those distractions when you're not playing with friends?
I have before. This was just one game where I honestly, the Genji was irritating me so much. I was like, I want to read every message and try and win this game with my whole might and then talk about how I carried you.
Honestly, I've been there many times.
Like, that was my most, honestly, I just wanted to be an ass about it.
Here's the thing. Don't put yourself in that situation, though, when you have to make that call. Like, if you've already committed and they're talking trash and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to prove it to you. Like, yeah. I get it. I've been there as well a million times. But why are you even exposing yourself to that temptation?
No, absolutely. It just makes you play worse.
It really does. So, like, in this situation here, there's just so much urgency. Now, here's another question here. more of
Yeah.
a rhetorical strategy question. If you miss this Gracie here, do you need to execute here?
No, absolutely not.
You know, because what
Absolutely
if you
not.
not? What does the enemy team have? And this is the Queen Classic, right? And this is why you're equipped with Gracie. Okay, do
Yeah.
you have confident tools to deal with Sleep Dart, Nade, and Hinder?
I mean, for hinder, yeah, I got shout for sure. So if I hinder, shout, get rid of some of that speed debuff. When it comes to Ana, I mean, if you're anti, sure, shout's great, but going against a sleep dart, if the Ana hits every sleep dart, it's just gonna stall me out longer
Right.
and longer. So
Nade, even Doom Punch, right? Basically,
yeah, Doom
there's
punch.
there's a lot of buttons to press here. So how do you force these CDs, right? I mean, we've already talked about it, right? It's Gracie,
Yeah, it's Gracie.
but it's also the angle.
Hmm.
That's the panic that you're creating here. It's also your ability to hit just your button, just your shots, right? Your shots. So I look at this here and I'm like, yes, you missed your Gracie, but I trust that this angle enough will also be enough to force Sleep, Nade, Hinder, Roll. Maybe not all of them, but a few of them.
Yeah,
So I'm asking you to do is that I know it felt bad at the start because you were missing all of your Gracies and your team was fumbling the bag. I need you to be a little bit more patient in these cooldown heavy situations unless you see a free opportunity. Now maybe you're
sure.
like, well, maybe you're like, well, I know Sleep Dart Nade, but he's dead. He's gonna die, right? If that's
Yeah.
the case, then sure,
Mhm.
sure. But it's not. There's nothing wrong with waiting for those opportunities while actively applying pressure with your gun and actively applying pressure with your Gracie, if that makes sense.
Man, I feel real bad. I was like, yeah, I've been working on my Gracie. I've missed so many Gracies.
Well, I
Like
played
I
a game of
said.
Junkerqueen on stream the other day, and it went from like I was hitting a lot of Gracies to not hitting a lot of Gracies, and it was just fatigue and effort.
Yeah, I mean okay, so like during this day, my friends deranked me the day before, so I was hard pushing to rank back up to get to where I was. So this is definitely like maybe like 6 or 7 hours in. Like I was like going all day, like I didn't have anything to do. I didn't want to do
Yeah,
anything. So I was
I mean
like, I'm just gonna play
yeah,
Overwatch all day.
yeah. I mean you can't possibly maintain that level of effort for this long, right? So it's like, I mean I'm glad you're seeing this because it's like it's not a mystery, right? This is what happens, right? So it's
No.
like I mean
I
nobody.
need to land a knife.
Yeah, no, I mean this is what's going to happen when you train under that much duress.
Yeah.
Now we've talked a lot about like training with quality and landing your Gracies and fishing. Some strategy advice here. So this is a really good rule for really all tanks, but especially tanks that don't have a lot of mobility. Hold your space. Don't fall back unless you're given a good reason to.
Okay.
Now maybe you're thinking here, I've used my cooldowns, I'm missing a little bit of HP, I need to get healing. Okay, sure. The more important thing for you here is probably just to hold the angle, hold the corner, hold the staircase, and avoid dropping. Because remember, and this is not just a tank role, this is also a DPS role as well. What is your absence going to mean for this backline here on blue?
Oh, they're all gonna walk up and
They're
come
gonna fill
support
it,
the Doomfist.
right?
So, yeah.
There's no pressure, so there's no support essentially.
Yeah.
Or there is support, excuse me, nothing but support. In addition to that, it means that you're gonna get surrounded by the threats that you were scared of controlling. So as soon as he leaves, like he could just slam out there, no problem, and now cast Moira far out. They've all got the height, right? Now,
Yeah, they do.
would you single-handedly hold this backline back? No, but you would contest their rotation forward while also playing a better corner for you.
Yeah.
So this is kind of where like you don't really have any CDs anyway, so you don't really need to worry about the Doom. And then in addition, you might as well try to passively hold an angle, hold some space, so that you can continue to do what you need to do. Basically the TLDR is to talk this in baby terms is me no want you chase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just
I definitely
hold what you do.
Yeah, I fall victim to chasing the tank sometimes, and it's like
Yeah.
I even tell myself, it's like, why am I chasing the 800 megaton gorilla? I'm not going to catch him unless I get
Okay.
a knife in him, and he already jumped.
Yeah, so there's a really interesting reason behind that. It's the same reason why everybody counter swaps you.
Fair.
It's because the role of a tank is to be the front man, is to bait the attention, to be the most visible problem.
Yeah.
That's kind of how, your role's big, literally, right? So
Yeah.
you're doing your job by doing that to the enemy team, but you need to be aware of your own cognitive bias towards doing that yourself. Because if you
Sure.
want to do your job effectively, you have to kind of see through the lies. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like,
Yeah.
this Doomfist is a threat when he's in my face, but I know if I chase him, it's not worth it. I know it's bait. Because
Sure.
I do the same thing to the enemy team. Nice job, nice job. Good job, good job.
Finally, we landed one.
We got it.
We did it, Joe.
Now,
We landed the knife.
did you notice that the one that you landed? What was the context of the one that you landed?
I believe he rolled into it, or he already burned a roll.
So let me ask you a
hindered
question.
me, and I brought him in.
Was this an aim knife or was this a movement knife? As in, I read their movement.
Ooh, definitely not a. That's a good one. Maybe subconsciously I read the movement because I definitely watched him roll in through the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
And obviously he was going to start backing up because I'm the 800 megaton gorilla in the room.
There's a little bit of movement involved there. A little bit of movement. Yeah. Also, just to pull your cross arrow to the left. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Shout's fine. Carnage is not great. It's more of a matchup thing. It's not bad to chop anything here. It just happens to be the one character that you shouldn't chop in that situation. Yeah. So it's kind of unlucky, but obviously the perk choice is good. I like the knife pull. This is where chasing tank makes sense because what else would you shoot right now? You could say I could shoot Pharah. You could. Yeah, absolutely. Pharah would be really good here, but he's also low. And you've just pulled him towards you, so this is fine. It's fine. You were saying something about the perk, I feel like.
It was definitely, you definitely mentioned the perk, and I want to apologize for the ultimate that we will watch in about 2 minutes in advance. It's gonna be real bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's Queen ult, right? It happens sometimes.
You're gonna be like, why? And I'll tell you why, and it doesn't make sense, but in my head at the time it did.
Okay, now this is an interesting knife. This might be the most interesting knife that we've looked at yet, because I actually feel like you're trying to read movement here.
I definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so this is perfect.
Okay.
This knife, from an attention standpoint, was, I feel like, fairly decent. You felt like you gave yourself the attention to the target and were trying to clearly lead his movement. You see it? Mm-hmm. The problem here is that this is more of a mechanical thing. And you actually brought this one up earlier, even though it wasn't really relevant earlier, but it's relevant now. It's this weird flicking, right?
Oh, yeah. I flick so much.
Now, the reason why it's inappropriate here is flicking is required when the target's movement is erratic. Mm-hmm. When they're doing something that is going to be more of a prediction from you. Like, you don't know where he's going to go, so you just kind of lead your shot a little bit, right? A rapid movement on your screen. This guy is not rapidly moving on your screen.
No.
You know, you could trace this guy, so don't do the flick. So the solution here is to tell you why this is bad. Yeah, okay, but how do you solve this? Well, you just need to slow down the process of not just analyzing their movement, but force your mouse not to do this. And this is where we kind of go back to that warm-up question with Vaxter, right?
Yeah.
What should you do with Vaxter for 60 seconds every day? Track. Don't flick. Track. Right. Put your crosshair on their body. Try to read their movement patterns. And by track, I don't mean literally putting a crosshair on them. You are going to have to lead them at times, but don't try to do these crazy random flicks. Be smooth.
Yeah.
Be real smooth. And then, crucially, take that and go practice it in a ranked game.
Yeah.
You know? So, because
this
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say, the flicking thing is definitely, I think, like, probably, like, the #1 worst habit I have on Queen at this point, at least in my opinion. Or at least to my friend's opinion, because every time I play with him, he's like, dude, hit a knife, please. We can win the game if you just hit a knive.
Yeah.
I feel like you're right. I know you're right.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, it's like we should have executed there.
Yeah.
I think this is just you misreading how many members of the enemy team are alive. I kind of got that context as well. They came back really fast, even though you guys were up 1 or 2. Like, you killed this Cass here, and then you got Doom 1, and I just felt like you lost context of the battlefield. So I actually don't think I don't hate this ult as much as you'd think.
That's fair then. In my brain, it was like, why am I ulting here? And it's like, well, if I ult on Queen, I can stay alive for at least 5, 6, 7 seconds longer with the self heal. But then she hit her asleep, and then it's like, well, they're all going to just drop on me. So, points mute.
Yeah. I mean, you just didn't have enough people alive. The ult's fine. The problem with Queen ult is it's like, not only do you have to go by the basic rules of, like, you know, how many members of my team are alive, but you also have to think, like, is this a devolved fight? Like, right now, you get punched, and you're like, wait, that's my cue, because I can get this off safely without getting canceled, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's like it's not just, is it a good time to use my ultimate? It's also, is this ult going to get canceled? And you got the second one right, but the first one wrong. So like I don't hate it. Just better kill feed awareness, being more patient. That it's
That's
not
fair.
a huge deal. If we see a lot more of that, then yeah, I would. But for right now, I wouldn't worry about it.
I think my other ults in this game are interesting, but for an entirely different point.
Right. So then maybe the point of weakness isn't narrow enough, and so then we just can't worry about it too much. We just have to keep practicing. Okay. Sangle's fine. Again, just need to freaking hit the Gracie, right? That one feels more along the lines of you just got lazy because we're tired, and not like, oh, I didn't read movement patterns. Just lazy. Again, really strongly discourage you from using Carnage as anything other than an execute in a lot of these matchups, right? There's nuance there, right? Reinhardt, sure, use it ASAP, right? Probably Ramattra if you can connect with him, Sigma. But there's even like matchups like Orisa, right? Like if you use Carnage early, you know what's going to happen, right? It's going to get spend, it's going to get javelined, and it's just not a good cooldown trait for you, right?
Oh yeah.
So then how do you win those matchups? Well, you force those cooldowns by hitting more shots and hitting more Gracies, because your base kit and your Gracie are just infinitely better at forcing those cooldowns than theirs are. You know? So it's like basically Gracie and your primary fire are really cheap ways to force more valuable cooldowns. And Carnage just has to sit in the back burner. Now, Shout here, we kind of talked about Shout as being like if we're fighting, sure. So I don't hate this Shout. You know, our HP, we get HP out of it, we get speed. You know, I mean, look at your health, right? Like, you've also just now started taking damage, so it's fine. Sure. Yeah, good pivot to the Pharah. I was going to say a lot of attention being put on Doom, but that Pharah is kind of being a little flippant. I'm going to draw your attention to it one more time. In no way will this knife ever hit anybody, right? That downward arc, it doesn't even come close, right? So that's not a really accurate representation of your mechanical capabilities. This is 6 hours of tilt, right? That's basically all there is to it.
So
maybe
true. It literally was.
A couple of bad habits in there as well, so... All of this Doom should have died 6 years ago. Pharah should have died. Ana should have died. Knives needed to hit. Shots needed to hit. Nothing more to say than that. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing we talked about the Carnage. Other than that, it's fine. Shout's fine. Gracie's fine. Shots are fine. But besides the Carnage, this one was good. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. That Carnage is fine. I mean, a Gracie's fine. Like, the intention there is like I was trying to fish for it. Didn't quite do it. It's alright. It's okay. They use 2 ults. That Gracie really needs to hit. Okay. Let's walk. I would just focus on what's on your face. I respect the Ana attempt here, but this guy's 225, you know? You can force it instantly, and crucially, you can hit scan Gracie at this range, right? So you don't even need to read movement. You just need to shoot her in the freaking face. So that right there.
I'll be honest, I just didn't even think she had fade.
Well, okay. So this is interesting. So this is where like you're gonna have to use your brain and take everything that I say with a grain of salt, depending on the situation.
It's fair enough.
This, without Gracie, may be a very hard fade to force. Unless your aim is very good.
Yeah, sure.
Using Carnage here, the force fade here, especially because you actually got the healing, is fine. It's not a bad trade.
Okay.
The problem with using your Carnage on other situations is that it will get canceled and then you don't get the reduced cooldown. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a mistake of her to not fade that. But there was even a situation earlier where the Doomfist was nanoed on you. And I almost wanted to say, like, when he's looking at you, use the Carnage on him. If you don't have your back to a wall, just to force him to block during the nano animation. So he's like wasting time that he kind of wants to be shooting. Now, you might feed punch, so you need to be careful. But that's kind of like one of those things where, like, there's nuance here, right? Use your brain.
I've never even thought of that.
You could use your Carnage
to like force nano time.
Yeah,
didn't even think of that.
Yeah, use Carnage to force Orisa Javelin so you get a free ult.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god.
You know?
Okay, well.
So it basically what we're saying is that Carnage for a cooldown is usually a really bad trade most of the time. Sometimes it's okay. So All I would ask you to do is like think about like here, for example. Here, you should be able to find her and finish her off with that Carnage. What happens? Does she just get slingshotted? Yeah, you just lost her and
She got faded again. I lost her, and then our Wu Yang all ulted on me, and I got so... I honestly got flustered. I was like, dude, there's no one around me.
Yeah, well, the fluster is insanely prevalent here. I mean, look at that Gracie, right?
Yeah, it's so bad.
You didn't even read his movement. Now, and then now we're screwed. So, okay, let's keep going. I know this is a tough watch. And I know also as well. Okay, well maybe you've got a lot.
You're actually being a lot nicer to me than my friend was. So I'm
okay. Well, that's good. Because
the entire time, I don't know if I can swear, but he was just going, "What the f are you doing? Hit a knife! Why are you? You're peeking. You're going around. Why are you going for Doom?" And I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I was so mad at Genji. I was like, I will 1v5 the team Genji to prove a point. Like, shut up.
And you're not doing a very good job at that promise, though.
No, absolutely not.
And I think this is the point, being it's like, why is this such an abomination of a performance from you so far? It's just your attention split. You're not in the moment right now.
Yeah.
You know? So I want to see this Gracie land. I want to shoot this cast, and I want to have him move. And he doesn't move, so easy Gracie. Good job. Stay with him.
Lost him.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. It's the panic, you know? It's like, I think I'm not concerned about you losing him because that's always disorienting with Queen, you know? But then, here's a suggestion. Just find him.
True, fair enough.
I don't care if it takes, I don't care, like, you're like, I have to find something to do, so you stop looking for him. You notice that? You're like, I didn't know where he is, so I just gave up. No.
That's fair.
Find him, right? It's okay if you take an extra half a second because you just, my awareness, you know, I'm bronze, you know, I suck at the game, you know. Yeah, okay. Find him. Don't let him live this, please. It's like that Moira situation last fight, right? You kind of lost the Moira. Now, maybe you were like, maybe I could go for the On instead, but it kind of felt like you just didn't go for anything. Like you lost the Moira for a second, and then you just gave up.
Sure.
Stick with it.
That definitely happened to IRL.
Yeah, 100%. In terms of perk choices for majors, I think this one's like clearly the better choice for this situation. Like, if you're not carnaging the front line frequently, then it's just not worth getting the other one. It is a good perk, but this perk is also just like really, like 30 damage matters. Like it really does matter. It changes break points when you hit the knife. It's decent chip damage when you don't. It's just good. Good. Yep, sure. He's not thinking about blocking that, so that's fine. Okay. Yep. Sure. Nice job. Good job. Some nice shots and some nice Gracies from you here. I'd be careful about over pushing with where your team is holding, so yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird Gracie from you sloppy wise. Like, it's fine to like throw it down the line, but you throw it down the line after you've moved out of the line to where it can't possibly hit anymore, you know? Just more intention. Okay. Shouting out. Okay. I wouldn't mind you leaving point here. Just sticking here.
You will be proud of me in a second here then.
Yeah, or popping up here. Let's see what you do. Yeah. Hey, there you go. I think you realize that. You're like, I need to take an angle here. I need to take a corner.
I think
what we're going to do is we're just going to pocket the Gracie off, you know? We know what the issue is. There's two issues. Give yourself more attention and force yourself to slow it down. Now, you can definitely practice both at the same time. And by slow yourself down, okay, so let me kind of clarify what I mean. What are the difference between the two? The first one is I want you to slow yourself down before you throw the Gracie to allow yourself to read their movement.
Sure.
The second one is I want you to manually prevent yourself from making aggressive flicks unless absolutely necessary. Okay. So look at their movement and don't let yourself be jerky with it. Miss smoothly by a mile, but miss smoothly. You understand?
Fair enough. Okay.
So I want you to try to practice those at the same time. So basically allow yourself more time to read their movement patterns and then try to control it and make it nice and smooth, even if you do miss. I don't really care. But yeah, force yourself to get in the habit.
Gotcha.
But yeah, from here on out, we're done with the knives. Unless there's something new I see. I don't love this. I think the reason why I don't love this is because here, she's fricked.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have 1, 2, 3 resources, and she's just used her Big Daddy one, and she's cooked. She could sleep you here, and she's still screwed. So I don't mind solo ulting if you haven't just already been handed things on a silver platter in the first place.
Yeah.
That would be like the equivalent of a diva eating sleep dart and nade, and then being 495 HP, and then using diva bomb to remac. It's like no, just kill her, you know.
Absolutely.
Solo ulting with Queen is fine if that's what you see, but yeah. Yep. Yep. No, nothing major. Can stay on him. Keep shooting. Yeah, it happens. See, this is gonna be a new challenge for you, right? Where the skill of quieting your inner voice here, you know? Can you be judgment free, right? Because you're gonna have to do this in game. Because you're gonna recognize mistakes in game that you're just gonna have to tell yourself to shut up over, you know?
Fair enough.
So it's a good time to practice. Might as well we do it now. So there's a lot of people, coaches, not a lot of coaches, but some people might be like, I don't like this shout from you. And I could see the argument of being like, did we really need to use our shout here? I say yes. I think yes. I think we're transitioning here, and we're moving from point A to point B without cover. So the faster we make that transition, the better. We're also in a position to where they've used cooldowns that we kind of want to push here, right? We like, hey, I think we can catch something here. You see what I'm saying? So like, this is kind of like where I want you to look at shout as a very, very, very nuanced tool, right? Okay. Is it useful for you to push your advantage right now and to make this transition smoothly? Yeah, it is. In fact, I think if you didn't shout here, I think these guys would be standing here still shooting you. I think the shout is what made them run away. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So it's not just that I'm in the heat of combat, I use shout. It's not just that I'm pushing you. It's you could be in the heat of combat, or you could be pushing, or you could be backing up. As long as that something specific, your action is happening, then it's okay. It's fine. Rig's an idiot, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Now this one is probably the worst shot we've seen in a while. I want you to kind of break me down why. Why would I... You analyze my brain for me here. It's not a terrible shout. There's value here, but why would I nitpick it from you?
Well, I mean, in my opinion, like looking back on it, it's like, well, I'm backing up and I'm trying to gain health for sure. That's fine. But it's like, even with shouting, I'm not going to be able to walk anybody down. So it's like, if I was around the corner, sure. It's a different story.
Yeah. Are you currently being pushed? Kind of not really. I think you use the shout before you even see the Cassidy rolling here. I think this is just more of a reflexive. And so like, if this shout was used to allow you to get a Carnage here, sure. If the shot was used to force the Cassidy, sure. If you're caught with your pants down in the open in a firefight with Cassidy, 100%. But this kind of feels like we're just kind of sitting on the corner, and I don't see enough.
Okay. Yeah, that was funny.
I knew he was going to do that. I was like, this guy's...
But
it's just delightful. Yeah, good job. But it's like situations like this where like that felt like you could have forced that with shout, or had shout for this transition here. So yeah, hindsight 2020, just worth considering. Like, am I actively engaging? Good. Obviously, the Winston matchup is way easier with Carnage. I'm not saying it's easier overall, but it's definitely easier with the Psychotic Carnage. Just use it, always. Now, this is an interesting bit of strategic nuance where we said, don't chase the tank.
Yeah.
Look what your attention
My
is
eyes are
right
on
now.
that. I love that fat gorilla. What can I say?
I know. I mean, look at this, right? Like, come on.
It only gets worse, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Shout's fine. We're actively in the middle of combat. I mean, it gets worse, but that was good.
Oh, I meant with chasing the monkey.
Yeah. Well, okay. Okay, we got a little lucky that he jumped in towards you, but you're like actively looking away from Brigitte, who's like, she's just smacking you in the rump. She's like, come back, come here, she's like, so just worth considering. Okay. So it's a lack of convenience-based target priority, which is something that I talk about a lot, right? But it is with a heavy bias towards the tank threat with you, worth highlighting. So a little bit of an unfortunate move. Yeah, we get pressed up a little bit. I will say, this reminds me a little bit of what happened, if you remember, here. Very similar. Where we kind of pushed up to look for something, and then we got smoked, and we had to shout to run back to point.
Yeah.
It's where you're like looking for early pre-fight pressure, but you're cheating the line. Because if you look at where we're kind of fighting on this line here, so you want to be playing here. Or you want to be lurking in here, right?
Sure.
Or flanking or something, but waiting for them to walk in. So basically, it's like you're kind of 1v5ing here. I know the intention was just to Gracie and back up, but that's just, you just got to be really careful even going for this.
For sure.
Because let's say you get slept here, same result.
Yeah.
Right? Same result. So they could have slept you before the Pharah booped you, right? And it still would have been a problem. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Still winnable. I mean, a lot of resources have been used here. Your Wuyong's with you. This is a good situation. See, this is why I was less apt to criticize the previous one, because it really comes down to like, okay, you're only down, what, 1, 2? You're only down 2 here instead of down 3.
Yeah.
And they've used a lot of cooldowns.
Mm-hmm.
So those people are less powerful. And so as long as you stay calm here and finish off one person, yeah, then there it is. You see it? So that wasn't significantly better than the first ult, but it was just by enough for it to matter. It was just by enough to matter. This is you responding to your Reaper, because he's the one now cheating, so you're going to go help him. That's good. And then now he falls back, and so you fall back as well. This is fine. I mean, by this, I don't mean you have to play here. I'm just saying, like, hide here, lurk here, flank around.
Right, though.
Just get your timing right. Listen to your team's action. Like, if I see my Winston teleport in, I see this, now you got to do the same freaking thing again. You got to go in. So here it's actually the opposite. Now you're being too passive because your Reaper's being an idiot. So you got to go help him out, you know?
Okay, fair enough.
It's a good idea, just really messily executed. Carnage is fine. I don't hate the peel on Winston here. It's just a question of, like, can I turn my attention here quickly and go, oh, shoot, right?
Absolutely.
Because if you don't give yourself the information, you won't make the decision. So, like, right now, he's kind of a little far for you. So then you go, status checks. Oh, yeah, I'm going to deal with this.
Sure.
If they're still in spawn or at the choke, then sure. We can play cleanup. Okay, let's win this one pretty easily. Let's keep going. Any questions so far?
No, I feel like everything's been pretty straightforward. I feel like this fight in particular, you're definitely going to notice how, like, my priority on who I'm going after, like, I just fall in love with Winston in my face, like, over and over and over again.
It's satisfying is why.
It is.
It's because I think the way to think about it is, like, Orisa versus Junkerqueen can be a very difficult matchup for you, but it can be very rewarding because you can force a lot of resources to that character for free.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't always feel very satisfying for you mechanically.
Yeah.
A lot of stuns, a lot of cancels, a lot of, freaking javelin spins eating your crap, Whereas Winston is like, he's going to absorb your things and probably still get value, but it at least feels satisfying for you to do, Mm-hmm. Even the bubble to shoot is fun, right? There's something to do.
Exactly.
So again, just being aware of your own biases, I think, is the key thing here.
Absolutely.
Sure. Little detail, I've talked about it a few times in my other sessions, but I think unless you need the immediate pull for the immediate combo or to pull them into proximity for Carnage, at distance, I love leaving my knives in. Let them think about it. Because they have to behave differently with knife in than with knife out, and usually behaving differently means behaving poorly, aka sitting behind a wall. Right? So it's really annoying for them. So, like, right here, you probably should have yoinked him because he was close enough to threaten a Carnage. But, like, let's say that you yoinked him here. I'm going to let that sit. I want him to think about it because he's not going to be able to stage for a dive without thinking, oh, guys, she's just going to yoink me out of the air, isn't she?
Right.
So just hold your corner here. This is fine pushing forward here, but push forward to the next corner instead of hovering here. So where is that right now? 2 choices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where would you go?
Where, if I was gonna do it all over again?
Yeah.
I mean, there's that corner to the right, just up a little bit more that I probably could have held a little
This
bit
is
better,
great.
because then I
Yep.
could start poking at the rest of the team.
Bang, and go through
And
here. Yep.
especially with, him wasting. Oh, actually, going into the room makes the most sense now, because he wasted bubble, so then I can get a free line. So that makes sense.
This one even, right? Just a little bit to the
Sure.
left, right? Same
Yeah.
thing. Yep, yep. Either one works. I'll always prefer the off angle, aka I know my team's here, so I'm actually going to lean here. I want to split their
Fair
attention.
enough.
Has the same
Okay.
deepening opportunities that the other one has.
Hmm.
But really, either one is fine. Just push your advantage to a position. Don't just push the target itself.
Yeah.
I know
I
it's
guess for
really.
me, sorry, go ahead.
No, finish right.
I guess my fear with like, especially like not the quote unquote compo running, but like we got Wu Ying and Brig heals, and I was just like, okay, well if I play far from Brig and Wu Ying, I'm not gonna get healing, and while I can sustain on Queen, they do have a cast on Pharah and an
Sure.
Ana, so
So
do I
use
want to
your
get
cover
bursted
here.
down? No thanks.
Yeah.
Yes,
See,
cover
this is
would
the
be better.
right. This is like this is the main thing here. It's like less about you have to off angle, you don't have to off angle. It's more about the fine. This is the worst of both worlds, right? Just get to here so the damage doesn't happen, right? Or get to here so
Yeah.
the damage doesn't happen, right? So
Sure.
it's basically how do you take spaces queen? It's corner to corner to corner to corner to corner to corner, right? Or, like as we walk forward here, you're gonna stand here, right?
Yeah.
But if you had shout, where would you go next? Well, I'd probably walk towards the Pharah with the
Yeah.
intention to tuck in towards here. Because if I just stand
Okay.
here, I'm screwed, right? So like
Sure.
I have to, there's always the next step. It's really weird with melee characters because it's really easy to get distracted with like just putting your fist in their throat. But you got to put your
Sure.
fist in your throat while you're skirting your heels off to the side, you know?
That's fair.
It's really weird. Yeah, I just coached a Reinhardt earlier today, and it's hard to explain that concept, you know?
Yeah.
Like right now, it's like, obviously you want to walk forward so you hit your Carnage, but then you walk forward to hit your Carnage and you get barraged. Right now, you didn't know that barrage was going to happen, so I'm going to cut you some slack. But this is kind of the importance. You Carnage, you can tuck, and then all of a sudden this fight's winnable.
Yeah. You will actually be surprised about this fight here. Oh no, okay, you skipped it, okay.
Oh, wait. This fight here?
Our Reaper and our Wu Ying got creative with it.
All right, I want to see. I mean, let's look here. 1 down, 2 down. Up, down, 1. I mean, it's still winnable. I actually don't mind it.
Oh, okay. They
Yeah,
bought
I
us-
didn't
they bought us
I
till
didn't mind
50.
it. The problem is that Pharah freaking lives because your entire team fumbled their shot. I think your Wu Ying missed a lot of shots. Genji missed. Like, if Pharah dies there, you guys actually win this fight, straight up.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's the
I just
same
remember
reason.
them both ulting. I was like, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah,
We're blowing
yeah.
ults. What are we doing?
It's the Junkerqueen ult of the previous previous round, right?
Yeah.
Except that one was even better because they were only down 1.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
yeah, just bail. Good call. Okay, what do we got here? It's a good fishing knife. But it's kind of showcases that even when you kind of have the sight line throwing for the knife, it's just too low. It's just way too low. So that's something that we've seen a couple of times. Even when you're kind of aiming down a choke, you'll get one aspect right, but you'll still aim it too low, right? So
Yeah.
okay, it's good. Shot's fine. Just hold the corner a little tighter, and we're cooking. That one was nice. That's a sit and one for me.
Yeah, that's a silver.
That's a sit and one right there. Yeah, but good knife. Where's your corner? Right, so we're in open transition right now. So where's the next step from here?
For me, it should be the little. Wow, I don't even know how to describe it. The cover right
Hydroponics?
there, just right in front. Yeah, the hydroponic
the
piece right
greenery,
there.
whatever that thing is. I don't even know if it's
Yeah.
hydroponics. It just kind of looks like.
I don't
it.
know what it is either. I would just play Ring Around the Roses on that.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. But I mean, this is why. Did you heard
Yeah.
what just happened, right? Like,
Oh,
it's freaking
absolutely.
high noon, right? So it's good. It was good. It's really good. So you get to here, and then you can start to fish with your Gracies and see what happens, and then just whip out the ult when you want to. So it's good. Yep. Nice. You could ult this if you wanted, but maybe you don't need to. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Big ult. Just nail down a target, whatever it may be. Lock down a target. The chaos, you can tell you're fumbling. I
I
can tell
heard
you're
I, I
super overwhelmed right now.
I heard justice and I was like, oh,
Yep.
I gotta
Yeah,
go
yeah,
save
yeah, yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Right now, can we stay focused? Sure. It's a little deep.
Just completely ignore the Ano.
Yeah, yeah.
Potency.
You can hear you just it's just you're lost in the sauce here, but we get the Ana here. Yeah, it's like Onyx should have died like 7 times over.
Absolutely.
Oh wait. Save your best for last, I guess?
I got
Oh.
one. I got a couple in me.
Alright, alright, alright.
Sometimes.
You see it, it's like the brain just is like takes a while to process, almost like you DC'd there or something. It's an IRL DC, you know, playing on literal latency. Nice. Yeah, we clutched it out. All right. Yeah, I mean that legitimately that knife on Farah freaking wins you this game. I'm not even joking. That was a game-winning knife. Now, obviously, the bad and good news is that there's 50, 60, 70 game-winning moments for every game, for every player, right? Like, how many knives did we make? How many knives did we miss? How many knives would have won a fight that would have put us in a better position? You know, whatever. But the good news is that if you ever feel like you choke on one particular moment, it's generally not one moment that defines a game, right? So for you, it's the dozens of small decisions, the taking more time with Gracie's, the avoiding the flicking, being more deliberate with your cover, right? Being more deliberate and decisive with where you're moving to, whether it's on an angle or it's just standing in front of your team. And then finally, it's like that attentiveness to maybe Winston is an outlier, right? But crucially, what is the target that has the greatest proximity to me, and just taking that trade there.
Yeah.
There's exceptions sometimes if the target's one. If you've got your ultimate, there's always exceptions to the rule. You can use your sense here, but I think like that's crucially there. And then finally, I'd just say using Carnage as a finisher when and where you can. Now, that's a lot of info. So in terms of priority, what I would say is number one priority is slowing down your Gracies, giving yourself more movement reading patterns. Just slow it down, okay? Number two, I would say focus on shooting and pressuring, whether it's Gracie, Carnage, whatever's on your screen, and try to avoid crossing the street or chasing.
Okay.
Number three, and this would be the final, a little bit more mechanical, a little bit more niche, I would work on your Carnage timing. Just being a little bit more patient on matchups where you have to be more patient. And I would just work at those in isolation.
Gotcha.
Work at those in isolation along with just like you could do 3 games per day with one thing on each focus. It doesn't really matter to me. You could do an entire day where you just focus on one thing, but whatever keeps it fresh and fancy for you. So, okay.
Gotcha.
Any questions?
I don't really feel like I have any questions. I feel like a lot of things got answered there.
Sure.
I think when it comes to like, no, I don't even know, because I guess on the enemy team it's like out of all the characters that they played, I know obviously the target changes depending on which character they're going to swap to and all that jazz. But like, I know that I, at least in reviewing it, I go for the cast a lot. Is that the correct answer sometimes? Or most of the time, is that okay to do? Or should I be like going for Ana even though she's got cooldowns that will just mess me up?
Wait for it. Shoot
Wait
and
for
fish,
it? Okay.
shoot and fish, shoot and fish. Pressure her, hit the Gracies, force her to rotate out. If you see the cooldowns, find a way to execute, get close, right?
Okay.
The way that these matchups are balanced is that you have the way to force the cooldowns.
Sure.
Right? With a cheaper cooldown. And then in addition to that, if she messes up or if she wants to find value with her cooldowns elsewhere, if you get too close, she's just gonna die.
Yeah. That makes sense then.
The other thing as well is if you've ever played Ana before, there is a general goal to where you want to use your cooldowns. You don't want to sit on your nade and sleep dart for forever in most circumstances. So if you add on as sitting on her cooldowns the entire game and you're just chipping away to her tank with Gracie and Carnage or whatever in her shots, she's gonna lose the game.
Sure, that makes sense then.
So there's an opportunity cost, and that's really what cooldown management comes from. There's not like some esoteric concept of use it first or use it second or or track the enemy cooldowns. It's just get value out of your cooldowns with the intention of keeping an eye of what they have. And for you, it's like this recent match, there was a lot to worry about. But even if you just want to track the one thing that's your biggest threat, that's good enough. You don't need to track everything.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because, like I said, like that whole game is like I'm getting flustered, chat's flustering me, I'm throwing knives just willy-nilly at most points, and then it's like, all right, if I actually calm down and like pick the target and like focused up, it's like, oh, that did not have to be as sloppy as it was. So
Right.
I guess
Exactly.
that all makes sense.
Exactly.